A presentation for the KJ app, final presentation of the semester. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. This is the welcome page for the app, and you'll see here there's two flows. There's a login flow and a start account flow. So I'm going to go through the full flow, which is going to start with the start account flow. And before I get started, this is just to note that this application was built for children from low-income communities who may not have the digital literacy of children from higher-income communities. So the app was built to be free and to have some learning moments to teach children a little bit more about digital literacy. So we'll start with the start account flow. Once you click in, you can see that there's a really simple input area here for starting your account. There's an email and a password, and once you hover, you can see that there are tooltips. This first tooltip just says use your email address or click here for more info. Since tooltips are supposed to be small, I decided to make a click out box that can teach children a little bit more about email, what it looks like to create a free email through Google. It has little arrows and red text for important information. And then it sort of explains what these terms are. So once they're done learning about email, they can go back. If they're confused about a password, they can click through to that and learn a little bit more about what creates a strong password. Trying to make it 8 characters, make sure it has letters, numbers, and special characters. And, here's an example of what quote unquote strong password might look like. And then there's also another area for them to click through to creating and managing a strong password here if they're still a little bit confused. This area clicks out to another educational site. So we'll just go back here. And in the start flow, this also has teachable moments where, we will stop the children from creating an account if, say, they're not using a correct email address. And then it, again, points them to the information for an email address, which will show them that they have to have an address that has text, an @, and a .com. And then here in the password, let's say we just give them that and we don't give a good password. If we click submit, they'll also be stopped there and given information that passwords should use 8 characters, 1 letter, 1 number, and 1 alphanumeric character, and another area to click through for help. So we'll just add a email address here and a correct password. Also, there's a little box here where you can show what the password will look like so that people can make sure that they're doing the correct thing when they're entering a password. So then we'll hit submit, and the first thing that they'll see is when they're creating an account, they need to take the survey so that we can know sort of where they are in their learning. And this is to sort of help gauge the effectiveness of the account as it progresses. So we'll start with this survey here. They'll choose a few answers, and this information will be stored in MySQL once it is submitted. And then between the survey and the help page, or between the login and the help page, we have information that is either information on a character in history or information on computer tips that might help people using the computer. So I tried to use less represented characters from history here so that kids might see like a little bit of themselves in this and be a little bit more excited about learning. So once they see this little tip, they can say, got it, and it'll take them to the help page. Right now, there are only 2 integrations, one to help with science and one to help with math. So going through the science flow, what you would do is click whichever subject you need help with and hit submit. And then if you need help with science, we will direct you to the Science Museum, as it notes here. It gives you a little bit information about what to expect when you are ready to browse. We'll open a new tab, and this word tab right here actually clicks through to information about tabbed browsing. So if they're confused about what a tab is, they can look on this page and get a little bit more information. But let's say we want to search for people and we want to search for King George. When you hit submit, we'll have a little pop-up modal here that will tell you a little bit more about the Science Museum. It gives, again, little arrows and information about what all of these things are. So when you get to the first page, you'll see the subject. You can type in a new subject, hit next, and you can see the next tip, which is where you can expand information on what you're searching. The next tip, which shows another part of the page, other topics and the expanded content. So when you hit got it, it'll redirect you to the Science Museum. And here you can see the information that you were searching for science. So that is the flow of the Science Museum. So going back to help, there's another option here. There's a math option. So say somebody wanted help with math, we would take them to this math help page, which would explain this free app that we've integrated with, the Khan Academy, which I'm sure many people have heard of. It has videos listed by grade to grade to help you with math studies. So we'll explain that, and we'll explain that once you've chosen your grade level, you'll see math tutorials and how to use those tutorials by clicking the play button, how to practice, etc. And then it says, once you're ready, then click yes, and it will break out into a new tab with the Khan Academy's math tutorials. So in my paper, I explained that there are a few more things that we could add to this were it to go public and be pushed to production. I would definitely integrate more apps. One issue was finding free apps, because we do want to make sure that kids can be able to search for help with their studies and not worry about paying. And there are a few other future work items listed on that paper, such as closing out modals automatically if you've already seen them. Right now there's a little skip button, so when you hit skip, this will just automatically show you the Science Museum, but it would be nice to automatically skip it if the user has viewed it several times. Another thing that we can add would be to have some more secure user state and logout function, so other people could use it on the same machine. But that is the general gist of the application, and I hope you enjoyed.